So now that we have the official soundtrack for Hell of a Boss, we have an extended version of Monsters Ball and even a new song with Buzz Us In. But when I was listening to Buzz Us In, I couldn't help but notice something about Queen Bee. Did you ever notice that she's a bee? Yeah, I know it's obvious. It's like in the name and everything. She makes like Beelzejuice and all that. But I mean, like, have you ever thought about the logistics of her being a bee? You know, bees, they typically have workers that go out, collect nectar for the hive, bring it back so they can make honey. How does that work with Queen Bee? Well, let's start off by finding her workers. In Mastermind, it's kind of soft confirmed that each sin created an individual species for Hell. If you look at Queen Bee, she seems to be a bee-fox hybrid. Since every species seems to share some resemblance to their creator, and foxes are canines, we can assume that she made the Hellhounds. But why would they be hounds instead of bees? Well, similar to bees, wolves have a hierarchy where one alpha leads the pack. Only that's based on an incorrect study, and that's not really how it works. The idea still stands. Wolves have a strong sense of community and work for the good of the pack. But most importantly, they also have a strong sense of individuality. For those that don't know, all the worker bees that leave the hive are female. Male bees are drones and are used exclusively for mating and die shortly after. Making them hellhounds instead of bees allows for the species to be a lot more diverse than they would otherwise. Also, Vivzi's a furry, if not just very supportive of the furry community, so it's not very surprising that she created a wolf species for the fan base to latch onto. Moving on though, what would Nectar be in this situation? Well, it's echoed throughout Monsters Ball and I'll put relevant lyrics on screen, but it appears that the Hellhounds freely roam Hell and then come back for the party, for the most part. There's some obvious exceptions. But yeah, it seems like they go around passively gathering negative emotions or finding individuals that are suffering from negative emotions and then progressively release those emotions at the party. That's why the food offers such euphoria, and Bee says that she can taste the energy of the people at her party. She takes the energy of people going from their lowest lows to their highest highs and makes Beelzejuice out of it. That's why Blitz was asked to leave the party. Instead of experiencing his highest high, he drank himself into a deeper depressive rut, which was ultimately not helpful in the production of Beelzejuice. I also want to clarify that I don't think the Hellhounds are fully aware that they're doing this. It's kind of an instinctual thing that they're doing. That's why whenever Tex hears that Luna doesn't have any friends and she's lonely, that he feels like he needs to invite her to the party. Luna herself doesn't have these instincts because she's so disconnected from the whole thing. That's also why there are non-Hellhounds at the party, because the Hellhounds bring them to the party. Naturally, Beelzebub also has a presence that would attract people to the party, but let me know what you guys think. Am I looking too deep into the lyrics? Like I said, I've been flashing them on screen, the ones that are relative to what I'm talking about. And I honestly can't listen to the songs the same way after coming up with this theory. But like I said, let me know. Thank you for watching. Feel free to follow for more Helliverse analysis. And with that, I'm out of here.